Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Just Momming. I'm your host Ashley Wong, and with me today is Renee Murray. She's one of my nearest and dearest friends for over 15 years. She's of course a mommy to her son Carso, who's 4 years old, and she works in the financial industry, which of course can be stressful, it can be demanding. And so I thought she would be the perfect person to talk about the whole concept of the work-life balance. So let's get right into it. So, Rain, my first question to you: how do you manage work-related stress? Like, what coping mechanisms do you use to cope, to manage?
So I think that varies depending on my mood, So it can be going out for a drink, going out for dinner, or if I'm feeling a little more laid back or tired, staying home and watching some Netflix, having a glass of wine. I think when it comes to coping with work-related stress, I think the main thing is to just whatever it is that helps you to unplug. When you finish work, just shut the brain off for a minute and just relax. So for some people that's exercising, for some people that's yoga, that's meditation. So I think that's really the key thing. So for me, it can be just spending time with friends, laughing, drinking, eating, whatever it is. Coming home, watching TV, spending some time with the family. But at the end of the day, I'm unplugged from that or from whatever issues I've dealt with or been dealing with at work.
And I think that's so important to unplug it. Leave your work at work when you're at home. So important.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. All right. So depending on your priorities and what you value most in life, I think the whole concept of a work-life balance will differ from person to person. What does it mean to you? What does it look like to you?
So work-life balance is pretty much, so as long as I've known myself, I have been very goal-oriented, very driven, passionate about my career. It's been a part of me as an individual. And so being able to accomplish the goals that you set out, to pursue those dreams, that passion that you would have had for your career even before a child, and being able to kind of see that materialize. So that is the work aspect of it. But at the same time, you want to be able to enjoy life, live, spend time with your family, sharing moments that you can't really get back.
Exactly.
Because nobody can turn back the hands of time. You can't get back the time spent with loved ones. And so it comes back again to being able to unplug. Because there's a difference between, I think, being around your loved ones and being present in the moment. And so you're probably not at work and you're around your loved ones, but if you're not truly like unplugged from the work environment, then you're not really there.
And that's something that I really look up to with you. You've always been ambitious, always going for what you want, always striving to do better and to be better. So I mean, I always admire that about you, For me, pretty much the same. I think work is important. It allows us to be productive, to make a living for ourselves. Because at the end of the day, we have bills to pay, But I think it's so important to make that time to do the things that you love, to do the things that you enjoy, to do the things that make you happy. You know what I mean? For me, exercising, as you mentioned, is a big one for me. Before Isabel, I was able to go to the gym 3 days a week.
I remember that.
Now, I mean, to find the time and the energy, it's so hard.
I mean, the thing about it is and somebody told me this and it really has stuck with me for years. So if exercising is your thing, you have to make the time. I mean, you can't give from an empty cup.
That's right.
That's what the person told me.
That's right.
And so that is something that I always keep in mind. That you need to take care of yourself. So that you can execute and accomplish your goals, but also to be your best self for your family. So you have to find the time.
So as I mentioned, exercise is not even just for physical. I think it helps you mentally as well. It definitely does. But at the same time, when you have a child, you can't just get up and go. You have to make the arrangements. You have to plan. You know, so it's a whole lot of ballgame. So how would you say that it's been harder for you to balance now that you're a mom?
Oh, definitely. I mean, so as much as I've always been passionate about my career, I always knew that I wanted a family, right? And so I envisioned in my head like this superwoman, kind of.
Yeah.
And some days I still feel like some days you get up and you feel like you have it all together.
Yes.
I mean, my days are much longer. That's the first thing. I've never been before having a child, and even in the early days, I was not a morning person.
Right.
I get up very early now in the mornings, and I think how I start my day is always kind of like it provides some guidance as to how the rest of the day will go. So my very first thing I do in the morning after getting my coffee, because my coffee right now is everything.
Right.
Have 15 minutes just before Carter gets up. 15 minutes of
yourself.
Silence.
Yeah.
It's early, like 5 o'clock, so sometimes you'll hear the birds, and in that moment you get to kind of reflect. You think about things that you're thankful for. It helps you to put things in perspective and just clear your mind.
Yeah.
And then like right after that, okay, so I'm a planner.
Yes.
I think I'm trying to figure out if I'm more of a planner than you, because
and I think something that you touch on, gratitude, I think is so important. When you have a attitude of gratitude, it can make a world of a difference. It
makes a world. Like you know what I realize, you can't control events, but you can control how you react to events.
Right. Yep.
And I think for me, I mean, outside of yes, I would plan and have like 4 or 5 different planners, because unfortunately mom brain does not go with. And most people don't know, but I'm very forgetful.
Yes.
I make a lot of lists. I have my work planner, I have my home planner, and it helps me. It helps me to channel my thoughts, because the thing about it is, you know, in so much as, and my work requires a lot of focus, a lot, it's very fast paced and so on, but there will always be things in the back of your head now, you know. You have to make this appointment. What if Carter get picked up from school yet? You know, that kind of. So writing it down helps, because it kind of takes it out of your brain now.
Yes.
And all you have to remember to do is just
look back on it.
Check my planner just to see, you know. So that's another very important part of my morning. And actually, I have a physical planner. Some people use the phones, you know. That's good.
Yeah, writing it down can make a difference sometimes.
Writing to me helps. You know. So that is another kind of way of helping me to manage everything, because when you have a child, you know, there's a part of you that I guess was previously untapped, where yes, you're this badass career woman, but there is this emotional part that is kind of untapped. You know, and
you find strength that you never knew you had before.
You have to find the strength, you know, and I think also another huge change as well is having to accept that, and as I told you, I was always a big planner, and I plan still, but I have to accept that things won't always go according to plan. And it has been a huge lesson for me in the first year or so of motherhood, just learning that okay, you plan this, and Carter is unpredictable. My heartbeat is full of life, full of energy, completely unpredictable. And he has taught me to go with the flow. Even if things don't go as planned, you improvise, you get creative, you think on your feet, and you find a way.
Sometimes you just have to take it a day and a step at a time.
Sometimes you have to take it a day and a step at a time. And some days you will be in Superman mode and be on top of your game, and there are other days when you'll have back-to-back tantrums. I can speak to just the last few months, work from home. I've always been a proponent of work from home and flexi time, and we live in 2020, We have technology. I don't probably need to go into the office 5 days a week, etc., etc.
Yeah.
Work from home, school from home has been.
I can only imagine. Can only imagine, because I mean, with Isabel, she's not going to school, so yes, I have to focus on her and work, but at least I don't have to worry about schoolwork and assignments going in, and
yeah, it has been and it's twofold for me, because I found, and again, motherhood teaches you to you have to just adapt.
You don't have a choice.
You have to just adapt and find a way, and so I've had to just shuffle around everything, because when he's up, and he's a regular participant in my conference calls, but when he is up and about, he's up and about, and so I've had to find little ways to. We have a little laptop at home that's not working, so he'll sit down beside me on it,
and he's doing his work,
working,
right?
And I say, yes, we're working, so excited. Find little ways, and also what I think, no more than ever, and I've always known it, but your support system.
Very important.
Garth is amazing. He is very hands-on with Carter, very involved, and he understands me. You know, he's supportive of my career goals, and he encourages me, because there will inevitably be days when you feel like
you just can't
do this. Like, I've been way over my head. What am I doing? But he encourages me, and the grandparents, the aunties, trust me. Like, just coming for him, take him out of the house for a few hours, especially in this current climate. It has made such a huge difference and been a huge help.
You mentioned Garth. So my next question, Garth, is her husband. How do you make time for your marriage? Because, of course, I think a lot of the times, and I'm guilty of this too, I'm sure, when you have a child, it's almost like your marriage sometimes kind of gets put on the back burner, because your attention is on this child, because they need you for everything, you know what I mean? So how do you make that time? How do you make it a priority,
It's difficult, and so I'm going to come back to, you have to put a lot of extra planning and effort, because not just the planning, because so Garth and I have a thing where we say, all right, 2 date nights per month. And I know it might not seem like a lot, but 2 date nights per month is a lot. And he's also in a field that is fairly demanding. But sometimes, so when Carter will, go to his grandparents, his auntie, he just wants to sleep.
Let me stick a pin right there. The date night, it's very important, right? So I remember me and Dean's very first wedding anniversary, right? So Isabel wouldn't have even been 1 month yet. She was 3 weeks old. And so I didn't expect to celebrate, but Dean insisted we're gonna do something. So he said, we're gonna go for brunch. And I said, yo, any little free time I have, I just want to sleep. Isabel was not an easy newborn.
That stage is difficult in general. It's not just
Isabel.
To
sleep,
that stage is difficult.
He insisted, he's like, we are going to brunch. So we went, and this is probably the first time since she was born that we would have had one-on-one time. The first time I dressed up, put on like eyeliner, mascara, and he complimented me, look so pretty. And I mean, just that alone, it makes a difference.
It makes a huge difference.
It was so nice for it to just be us two. I mean, it maybe was just for 1 hour, but it was just so nice for me and him, one-on-one. Quality alone time. It is so important.
You have to make the effort, and so even though we feel tired and we say no, come, we're gonna do this, as you say, doll up, fix up your hair, your makeup, and him fix up, and we go. But I think outside of that, and you said something, you touched on something, the little things. Compliments. One morning I got up recently after having I had a week of just meetings, and Carter is very intuitive. I've always heard about boys and their moms. Well, Carter, right? And so Carter was just extremely demanding of my attention, and then, but at the same time, I had to be juggling meetings, so on. And there was one of those weeks where I was feeling a little bit down and out, and I came outside one morning and I guess he went outside and picked a flower and just made some coffee, put it beside my coffee.
Yeah.
He get a card to just tell me you're doing a great job.
Yes.
Send me a text.
The
little things. You know, when we're busy, he'll call me, baby, want lunch.
Yeah.
If it's even to sit down in the car for 15 minutes because that's all the time we have.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what we're doing.
Yes.
Since quarantine, we've had at home date nights.
Mm-hmm.
Or date evening because we were in curfew.
Yes. Yes.
So Carter was with his aunt that day. She came for him so I could get some work done and more productive generally. And we get some food, we light some candles, and we had at home date night. And I think that a lot of effort will have to go into the marriage. It won't be carefree and yes, you will still have that, but it requires more work.
Yes, and you have to make that.
You have to make the effort.
You have to be intentional about it.
You have to be intentional. So if it's even to watch a movie, we're not falling asleep before Carter tonight.
Yes.
Carter, we're gonna wait until Carter fall asleep.
Yeah.
And we're gonna watch a movie together. It's the little things.
It is.
And I think the thing with me and Garth is, so Garth is, my husband is just full of jokes and just very high spirited.
Yes.
And it's important. You need to laugh sometimes.
Definitely, for sure.
Sometimes, life gets very serious. You get caught up in the day to day, but you need to laugh.
So important.
It's so important
is good
to
for
just
the soul.
laugh and have fun because it takes away some of the stress.
Yeah.
That stress that I feel like it can eat into your marriage if you allow it.
Yeah.
And just to ensure that your husband or, well, for the men, your wives, feel special and feel appreciated.
Oh, definitely.
And I try to always, tell Garth that he's the best at listening. He's just like, he's from Carter born.
Yeah.
He helps me with everything.
Yeah, that's so important because I feel like as mothers, a lot of the nurturing, a lot of it falls on us. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so even
I
with
think inevitably.
Even though I was on maternity leave and she pretty much had to go back to work after a week or so, I was afraid of bathing Isabella as a newborn.
Yeah.
He had to bathe Isabella every morning before work because it was like nothing to him. So we have to really.
And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. And I think that, yes, and I've seen it. Society, I think, has this image of, okay, the woman must do this, the man must do that. And that's just not how it works. Well, maybe in some instances.
Yeah.
But, I mean, there's nothing wrong with sharing responsibility.
You have to. I feel you have to.
And motivate each other.
Yeah.
The thing about it is, and we always have these talks about where we want to go, what is our individual goals. Because the thing about it is, we were individuals.
Before
we married, we became one.
Before we became a unit.
But, you never ever want to feel like, okay, you're advancing in your career while the other person is.
Yes.
So, and we're both very goal-oriented people. So we always have those talks.
Yeah. Always have to support and
Always
motivate.
have to support. And it may mean that, okay, I may have to take a step back a little to let him advance and then he might kind of hold little and that is kind of the approach we've taken. So that openness and that communication is key.
Yeah. So I wanted to end by asking you, and I think you kind of touched on it already, but what advice would you give to mothers who are trying to find that work-life balance?
I would say don't give up. So I know a lot of persons who before having a child they would have had those dreams, had those goals, and you have a child and you probably think, boy, it seems unreachable or unattainable. And that is not something I subscribe to. The thing about it is,
it may take you longer. But you can do it. Yeah.
But I mean, I know that there are still things I want to do, and I will do it. And it may not happen this year, next year, but it will happen. And I think the other thing that I would say, which is very important, is take care of yourself and be patient with yourself. And you may expect everything to be perfect. You have a bad day. There will always be those days where you feel like I can't do this.
Yeah. I saw a quote once that said, you have a bad day doesn't mean you have a bad life.
Exactly.
Right? So one bad day, it does not mean you have a bad life.
Right.
Yeah.
So I mean, tomorrow will be better. And that's why my morning reflection is so important because I will have a bad day the day before. And I get up in the morning and I try to just kind of refocus and recenter and say, you know what, yesterday was bad, but here's the thing, I have this, that, and that to be thankful for, and I'm gonna, make today a better day. So be patient with yourself because society expects, so your career and the different aspects of it will expect a lot from you. And you may think that your child expects a lot from you. There's been days where I start to sleep in, I come home start to sleep and you feel like, oh my God, my child is gonna like resent me for this. And so daddy had to read the story tonight, he still got his story. You know, so I don't think our children hold us accountable for these things as much as we probably do.
Yeah, we beat up ourselves
we beat up ourselves, but at the end of the day, look at the bigger picture. We are doing this for them. And I think that, they understand. So be patient with yourself and fill your cup. You can't give from an empty cup.
That's right. Thank you so much for joining me, Rain. Stay tuned for the next episode, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Bye.
I really hope you enjoyed that video. Please remember to like, share, subscribe, and don't forget to leave a comment as well. I really want to hear from you guys. Let's share, let's connect, let's build this Just Mommy community. Thank you so much again.